explore the Land Cruiser. Many of you asked me to do this, so I only have one car left, but the Venza is not very exciting. But if you guys want to walk around on that, I can show it to you. It's an interesting car, but nothing like the NSX or the Land Cruiser, so I think you'll enjoy the Land Cruiser walk around. Before I get started on the walk around, I want to give you a brief history of the Land Cruiser because this is the oldest Toyota. It's the longest running nameplate in the history of the automobile. Let's get started. This is the vehicle that started it all, the 40 Series Land Cruiser, and I'm sure you have seen some of them. This one is more rare. You do not see many of the 50 Series models still out there. This one, I still see these from time to time. This ran from 1980 to 1990, the 60 Series. Then came the 80 Series. This was the first Land Cruiser I ever had. I had one of these. They ran from 1990 to 1998. And then came the 1998 to 2007. This was the first year for a V8 in the Land Cruiser, the 100 Series. It was a 4.7 liter. And then came, in 2007, the 200 Series that I have. It has a 5.7 liter V8. Now, they do make the Land Cruiser worldwide, but they don't sell it in America. Not this particular 300 Series. It's badged here as a Lexus LX570 here in America. Now, starting in 2024, they are selling this as a Land Cruiser in America, a 4-cylinder small vehicle. They should have called it the FJ Cruiser because that's what it's way more like the FJ than an actual Land Cruiser. But this is what they're doing in America. So, here is my Land Cruiser. Let me try to stop the snoring. So this is me pulling out. Now my Land Cruiser is not stock. I bought it brand new, but I had a lift kit put on it, a 2-inch lift kit, an old man Emu lift kit. I just wanted a slight raise. I couldn't raise it any taller or I wouldn't be able to get it in the garage. I lifted it and I did a monochromatic paint scheme. I had all the chrome painted the same color as the vehicle. I'm kind of showing you the ground clearance there. And then I had the wheels. Those are the factory wheels, but they did not offer them in black. I had them powder coated in black. So I tinted the windows, I powder coated the wheels, I put more aggressive tires on it. I had all the chrome painted silver to match the vehicle. I did paint protection film on the front because it wasn't factory paint, because it used to be chrome and I had that painted silver, so I wanted to protect it. But yeah, those are factory wheels, just powder coated black. I got the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. This is an aggressive tread that still rides pretty good and it doesn't really hum very loud. So there's the brand Nitto, but they've got a nice ride and they look aggressive still. Now we're going to open up the back. The back does have a power liftgate. It is a split liftgate, so the top portion raises and the bottom portion lowers. The bottom portion is a power release and a power close, but it drops hydraulically. There is the trailer hitch. There's a cover that goes over the hitch so you don't have to leave it on. That is the recline mechanism for the third row, and these little levers right here release the third row and allow you to put them down. Now I leave them up have additional storage, but if you needed to haul more than 5 people, you could use a third row, and this is actually, you can haul 8 people in this vehicle. But I will never haul 8 people, but it's big. It's hard to really tell how big this vehicle is without seeing it in person, but this is, of course, the second row. That little thing on the floor there is a door lock for a home. So these seats tumble to allow you to access the third row. So you step on that little step, and then you step right into the third row if you needed to use the third row. I likely will never have anybody sitting in those seats. This second row does recline too, so you can see me reclining the seat to match the other one. And as I climb in here, I'm just showing you some of the features in the back. So this has heated seats for the back passengers. You have high and low heated seats, and you also have digital climate control in the back, so the passengers in the back can control their own temperature. And then you have individual courtesy lights for the back passengers as well. And then climbing into the front, of course, it has power seats and power lumbar. This is it. This has electronic start, so it's just push button to start it up. And there it is. It always starts with the Toyota screen on the navigation screen. It has just about everything you can get in a vehicle as far as options go. Mileage-wise, I've got 9,326 miles on it. I do not drive this very often. It has power tilt and telescope, so it goes in and out and up and down as well. That's power. It also has a heated steering wheel. That's the heated button to turn on the heated steering wheel. It has heated seats and cooled seats as well, so it has cooled ventilated seats for both the driver and passenger. And then that's an additional USB port. It does have a wireless charging pin for your cell phone too. These are all off-road style features: locking differentials, crawl control mode. So it's basically like a low-speed crawl control if you're off-roading. I will never take this vehicle off-road. It's way too nice. But it has an information center there. It shows you the tire pressures. I need to put some air in my spare. Notice my spare is only at 28 pounds, but I never think about doing it, but I will. It has a compass, and then of course you can see your stereo. Then all your safety features are on here, like blind spot monitoring, and it alerts you when you need an oil change and things like that as well. So it's pretty technological. This has your garage door opener, so it'll open 3 garage doors, and it is an electrochromatic mirror. It has individual map lights, and then also like a floodlight for the entire front, a sunglass holder. That's the sunroof control, so you can just pop up the sunroof or you can slide it open. It's a pretty big sunroof. I never leave my sunroof open. I like it darker inside because I have the tinted windows. I just like to have some privacy when I drive. Now, this is one thing nice about this vehicle is it's not really flashy because they didn't make very many of them. A lot of people don't really know what this is, but this feature is kind of cool. It has weather. So you can see right now it's sunny and 85 degrees. I'm in Noblesville, Indiana. The 3-day forecast shows 85 on Thursday, 89 on Friday, and 88 on Saturday. All sunny. So it's warm here right now. I can look at other cities and things like that too. Fuel consumption charts and all sorts of information there. Obviously you can see it has a navigation screen. So you can tell where I am in the world right now. And that's where I am. Yeah. climate control, so it works like your house. You just set it to the temperature you want it to be, and it will get to that temperature and just stay there as long as it's on the auto light. There are your radio control knobs, and everything else for the radio is on the touch screen. This is like a center storage area. At the top and at the bottom, there's a refrigerator. So that is an actual cooler box. It gets ice cold in there. It wouldn't freeze, but it gets super cold. So you could keep your drinks cold, which is kind of cool. Or if you were bringing food with you, you could keep your food cold. I keep pull straps in there in case I ever have to pull somebody out in the snow or something. Cup holders there are adjustable for smaller or larger drinks. Yeah, I think that's about, there's some buttons down here. These are windshield, you can wash your headlights. It's got a headlight washer. It's got automatic high beams, and then you can fold your mirrors in if you're trying to get in a tight spot. My garage isn't very tight, so I don't ever have to fold them in, but if I go through a car wash, I fold them in. That's memory seats, so it'll memorize 3 different driver's seat positions. But yeah, it's pretty intense. So is that snoring from Pearl. I'm gonna try to stop her from snoring again. Okay, I don't know what I missed, but I'm getting out now. I think I'm popping the hood now, maybe. This just shows there's turn signal indicators there in the lights. That's a smart key, so that you touch those lines to lock the door. It won't lock right now because the key's in it, so it has lockout protection, which is nice. And, I'm showing you these containers in the back. This is just like additional storage in the tailgate. And then on the other side, you have an actual toolbox that comes with it. So there's tools in that toolbox if you need to work on something. But yeah, this has an auto close, so I just kind of click this in and it closes itself. That was power closing right there. And then this little cover comes off, so you can install the trailer hitch. You just lift up on that and it pops off, and you slide the hitch in, so you can, if you were going to tow something, and then you push this little button there and it will lower the door. So for being like with a reputation of being very rugged, it's also very luxurious. There's really it just runs and drives just so smooth. This is releasing the hood so you can see the motor. This is a beast of an engine. It's a 5.7 liter V8. It is big and powerful. It's not really fast, and it is a gas hog. It only gets like 13 miles a gallon, but I have a hybrid. My Venza is a hybrid, so I have that for driving as a daily driver. But sometimes if I go to really expensive houses, they expect you to be in an expensive car, so I will drive this like $700,000 and below. I will drive my Venza. Any house over $700,000, I will drive my Land Cruiser to the showing. That is a accident avoidance sensor. And then this is showing what I painted, and it has paint protection film on it. I painted these two. Those are like little door guards. Those were chrome, and I had those painted silver to match, so that everything matches. But yeah, that's the Land Cruiser for you. That's the last of the Mohicans. They will not be bringing any more of the big Land Cruisers into America. I just do a quick walk around of the Venza here just to kind of show you what it is. This is a 2022 Toyota Venza. It's a hybrid. It averages about 41 miles a gallon. It's obviously a lot smaller, but it still hauls quite a bit. All of my real estate signs and everything are in there. But yeah, I like the car. It's comfortable, and it gets me where I need to go. And then for any of you that missed my just give you a quick look at the floor here. This is an epoxy floor. It just makes it really easy to clean, and it's super soft. Like it looks rough, but it's super smooth because it has like a couple millimeter clear coat of epoxy on top. And then I've got a side opener garage door. They're super quiet, and you don't have to have anything overhead, which just gives a little cleaner look inside your garage. Now, this is showing you the backup camera as I back into the garage. So you'll notice there's two separate images. One looks like the top of the Land Cruiser. The other one is the actual backup view. So you can see in that little smaller side view, that is what's called a bird's eye camera. So it has cameras under the side mirrors that show you exactly where you're going. So what's nice is I can make sure that I'm parallel with the wall, and you can see everything. You can see everything on the sides, everything on the front. It has a front camera and two side cameras and the backup camera. And so it simulates that it's above you, but it shows all 360-degree view around you. And then, of course, you have your regular backup camera, so you can see that as well. There you have it. That is the 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser. So I kind of went through those models pretty quickly, but just to recap, what I have is the 200 series. They stopped bringing those into America in 2021. In 2022, they made a 300 series that they did not import into America. They made it worldwide, like Australia. Europe probably has it. Definitely Africa has it. Canada gets it. But in America, they rebadged it as a Lexus LX 600. So I just did not. I worked for Toyota, which Lexus is made by Toyota, but I wanted the Toyota brand. I don't like the image of the Lexus because it's just more luxurious and a little more flashy, and I don't have the relationship with the Lexus dealer that I have with the Toyota dealer that I used to work for. I still get employee discounts and everything when I go there for like service and stuff. So, and I still like the people that work there. The guy that I hired to take my place is still running that store. So it makes it easier for me to buy a new vehicle there, and that's why I chose it. And then back to the new, so they now in 2024 they are bringing a Land Cruiser into America, but it is a 4-cylinder. It is a much smaller vehicle. It is more along the sizes of like a Ford Explorer or a Chevy Traverse or the Ford Bronco, kind of Jeep Wrangler size. And Toyota made the FJ Cruiser for many years, and I don't know why they call this vehicle a Land Cruiser, because they should have called it an FJ Cruiser. They should have said we're bringing back the FJ Cruiser, but I think it was a bad decision on Toyota's part. Toyota's very smart, but that is one that's a head scratcher for me, because it just doesn't make any sense as to why they did not call it an FJ. But now, one thing that I would like to tell you about as far as just some car advice. So when you see the vehicles that I drive, the Land Cruiser, the NSX, and the Venza, they are all like a very low production vehicle. They did not, Toyota, all three of my vehicles are made in Japan. The Land Cruiser, they did not import very many from Japan into America. They are made in Japan and shipped worldwide. But I think in 2021, when I bought this, America only got 5,000 of them. Where when you compare that to like vehicles of similar size, like a Tahoe or a Ford Expedition, same number if I would have equipped the Tahoe with similar options. Today, if I sold that Land Cruiser, it's worth more than what I paid. And I think that Land Cruiser had an MSRP of $87,000. So if I'd have bought an $87,000 Tahoe today, that Tahoe is probably selling for about $40,000, about half of its value, maybe $45,000. So that's what buying something that is low production, it does two things. It gives you something that not very many people have, and it allows you to hold value. Now, low production doesn't necessarily equate to high value all the time, but if you've got a special vehicle that's known for reliability and quality, it will. Same thing with the NSX. It was a very low production vehicle, and today they're just selling for way more than they cost when they were new, because they're very special. Many of them have been wrecked and are gone. Same with Land Cruiser. Many of them have been wrecked and they're off the market. That's why I like them so much, because I just like things that are unique. I don't like being normal. I don't know why, but I just don't. I enjoy things that are pretty unique. The Venza, again, it's not really a special vehicle, but in the Toyota lineup, you have many hybrids. You have the RAV4 hybrid, the Highlander hybrid. These are really high production vehicles. Same with Camry hybrid or Corolla. They're all very high production cars. But the Venza was just like an anomaly, just a very niche vehicle. Now, the Venza is more normal, so I don't expect that it will equate to a super high value. Secondly, I drive the Venza a lot. I have almost 30,000 miles on the Venza already, and it is a 2022, so I'm putting about 15,000 miles a year on that. But by having that daily driver, I'm able to keep the miles very low on my other vehicles, which will keep the value high. Now, I still drive them, but I think also by driving them just on rare occasions, it keeps them special. It keeps me loving them. It keeps them in perfect condition. That's what I do. I better not. I've heard a saying one time that said, buying a sports car and not driving it to keep the miles low is like not having S with your girlfriend to keep it tight for the next guy. That's not me. I'm not purposefully not driving them just to keep the miles low. Now, the miles are low and I want to keep them low, but I drive it. It's not like I just sit and look at them. But I thought that was a funny saying, because I know people that have cars that never get driven, like they won't even start because the batteries are dead. And that's not a good way to keep a vehicle. It needs to stay lubricated. You need to drive them. The tires will get flat spots on them if you don't drive them. So it will ruin the tires. All of the components, when the engine's running, everything needs to stay lubricated, and even the shocks and everything as they move and hit bumps, it's all important to drive a vehicle to keep it healthy. And so I will still, even though I don't drive 5,000 miles a year on each one of those, I still change the oil every year, because oil needs to be changed not just through use, but also through time, especially with synthetic oil, which nearly all newer cars, probably if you have a car that's less than 10 years old, it likely has synthetic oil. And synthetic oil is different than traditional crude oil that we used to put in cars. And I just think it's way more important to change it every year, and just to ensure proper viscosity is what it's called for an engine. All of that is like engineering stuff that I'm not really, I can't explain the engineering of things, and I certainly don't have an engineering mind, but I know what to do to take proper care of a vehicle, and I just follow the proper guidance from the engineers. I trust the engineers, and that's why I love Japanese cars so much, because I do believe that the Japanese brands are engineered to higher tolerances for better reliability, and I just trust them more. And it could be that I worked for Toyota for 20 years and I just was indoctrinated, but it's just what I believe, and they may not be the best, but they're damn good, and I trust them completely. So I certainly love other cars as well. If I could buy any car other than Toyota, I would probably buy an Audi. I like Audis. An SUV that I really love is an SQ5. And then I used to want an R8, an Audi R8. So Audi, Volkswagen, I don't know if you know this, but Volkswagen. So Volkswagen's premium line is Audi. Toyota's premium line is Lexus. Honda's premium line is Acura. General Motors' premium line is Cadillac. Ford's premium line is Lincoln. Nissan's premium line is Infiniti. Well, within the Volkswagen line, Volkswagen has Volkswagen, Audi, and Lamborghini. So the Audi R8 and the Lamborghini Huracan both share the same V10 engine, but the Audi R8 is like $100,000 less than a Lamborghini Huracan, and it is the same engine and transmission. Now, I will tell you the Huracan looks better, but the R8 is a way better deal. Way better deal. That is what I would get if I didn't care about reliability and resale value and maintenance cost, because that's the other thing. When you look at maintenance costs of a Toyota or Honda or domestic brands in America like Chevy and Ford, they're very, very cheap to maintain. Like oil changes in my Land Cruiser are like $75. But like if you had a BMW or a Mercedes, just oil changes can be $500. That's here in America. So I've often wondered if in Germany it was cheaper to maintain Mercedes and BMWs, because those are German cars, and I like German cars. I think if you just had a BMW or a Lexus side by side, two premium brands, the BMW, like everything just feels so solid. I mean, they are built like a tank. They are like heavy duty, and I think that part, definitely Germans have the advantage. But when it comes to long-term reliability and running for 100, 200, 300,000 miles with no problems, that's where Japanese have the number one. They are number one by a long shot over anybody for long-term reliability. Also for maintenance costs, there's no comparison between a BMW and a Toyota or Lexus products as far as maintenance expenses. So that's the other reason why I choose to stay with Toyota products. So there you have it. In the next coming videos, I'm probably going to do more real estate. I'm going to do a couple real estate videos probably the next couple times, but I want to tell you, for my long-term viewers, I am still going to do my life life advice videos, my thoughts on the world, my thoughts on life itself, because that's really how I started this channel, and I really do enjoy doing those. And I also know that I have a lot of viewers that listen to my advice, and I feel like because a lot of my viewers are younger, I want to get a message out to them to keep encouraging them, because I know how hard life is. And so just please know that I'm not going to completely get away from my core message of life advice and basically rambling about my thoughts on everything. For those of you that are new here that have just been starting to watch my videos about homes and cars, this is not my common theme, but I will do more of them because they have been popular. Now, I can't do a lot of car videos because I'm running out of cars to do, but I can occasionally give you updates as I do things to the ones that I have, and yeah, so I hope that you enjoy it. I appreciate everybody that's new here. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed, and I want to cover some of my channel updates because my female subscribers have jumped significantly. I was at 21%. The last time I checked, I'm up to 30%. So I appreciate that. To all my female subscribers that have jumped on board, welcome. And until next time.